And just make sure that you're nice and comfortable. Either sitting or lying, roll your shoulders down your spine. And rest your hands on your knees or your thighs or beside your body, palms face up. And shift your awareness to your breath. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths in. And long, slow, deep breaths out. Continue to breathe at your own pace, nice and deep. Just notice yourself letting go of tension. And I'll bring you to one of my favorite meditations. You guys may already know where I'm going with this, but you might not. It's the practice of just repeating 3 words to yourself. I love you. Silently in your head. Silently in your head, just repeating, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And one of the things that I talk a lot about is sitting in the seat of the observer. When sitting in the seat of the observer, you can start to become aware of the thoughts that you have. You can become aware of the voice in your head. Just remembering, I love you, I love you, I love you. And quite often this voice left on its own accord is rather negative. I love you, I love you, I love you. The truth is, when you become aware of your thoughts and the things that you are saying to yourself in your head, if that was another person, a friend, a partner, a family member, you would likely tell them to F off. But when it comes to yourself, these are the thoughts, the voices, just repeating in your head all day long. They say we have something like 60,000 thoughts a day, and only a very few percentage, small percentage of that are new thoughts. Like 95% of those thoughts you had yesterday and the day before and the day before. So there's just this constant cycle of negativity that has been allowed to go on in your head talking to you this way. My question to you is, how many times have you told yourself, I love you? We don't mind saying it to other people. We don't mind hearing it from other people. I love you. 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 The thing is about this voice is that these thoughts, these words are being broadcast to every cell in your body. There's 1 trillion cells in your body. So like, what is that narrative? What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourselves? It's why mantras are in the form of it already happening. Because then that's what's programmed into the body, into the cells. For example, I am healed. I am healthy. I'm well. As opposed to, I want to get better. I love you. I love you. I love you. So one of the practices to switching or reversing your thoughts is to say the opposite. So if the thought in your head is, I am ugly, then the thought would be, I am beautiful. For me, that just, I couldn't, or I chose not to wrap my head around it. I thought, that's so far from what I believe. It's so the opposite of what I believe. I'm not even going to repeat that because I don't believe it. And then I heard just about, I love you. And I did think that practice was a little crazy too. It was uncomfortable, I wasn't used to it, but I could wrap my head around the fact that if I just continued to say I love you, that eventually I might actually believe it. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And really tune into your own personal narrative. Is this the first time that you've said I love you to yourself? Even if it's not, how often do you say those words to yourself? I love you. 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 Love you. I love you. I love you. And just take the next couple of moments to really feel that being spread to every cell in your body. Every cell that's doing such a great job. You're alive. And then bring your awareness back to your body, back to this moment. And if you are sitting up, just really slowly and quietly make your way down onto your back. And when you get there, roll your shoulders down your spine. Rest your arms alongside your body. Just feel yourself completely supported. Supported by the earth. Supported by the ground. And then bend your knees, bringing the soles of your feet to the mat. Just adjusting your body. And take a couple breaths here. And then bring both of your legs up into the air. Flex your feet and bring it so that your heels are up over your hips. Keep your lower back on the ground. And then bring both of your arms up into the air. Your arms parallel. Keep your shoulder blades on the mat. Reach your hands up, spread the fingers wide, engage the arms. Keep the feet flexed, engage the legs. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Whenever I bring you back to the idea of engaging while in this posture, just think about this. Arms engaged, legs engaged, core engaged. On your inhale, bring your right arm and your left leg away from each other, all the way to hover just above the mat. Exhale, bring them back to center. Move slowly, take long, slow, deep breaths. Inhale, other side, left arm, right leg. Hover them just off the mat. Exhale, come back up to center. Move slowly and start to move at your own pace with your breath. Keep the feet flexed, keep the fingers spread, keep the belly engaged. If it's comfortable with the breath, just hover the arm and the hand above the mat before coming back to center. Take your time and move slow. Keep everything flexed, engaged. One more round, either side. Come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest, take a moment. And then come back to center. Bring the legs up, bring the arms up. Flex the feet, spread the toes, flex the arms, spread the fingers. On your inhale, bring your arms and your legs away from each other. Hover them just above the mat. Exhale, bring them back up to center. Start to flow with your breath. Move slow and strong. Keep the belly button pulling in towards the spine. Hover, back to center. Move slow and steady, stay strong. One more round. Come back to center. Inhale, open up, hover, legs and arms just above the mat. Breathe. Keep the belly engaged. The legs, the feet, arms Hands engaged. Pull the belly button in. Breathe. And then hug your knees into your chest. Take a couple breaths here. Really starting to connect to the abs, to the core, knowing there is a difference. The abs are the muscles that we're engaging in the belly. And the core includes the abs, but also is all the muscles that wrap around the entire body. So when you engage the core, then you keep the lower back into the mat. You make it so that you are stabilizing the whole body as opposed to just the front of the body. So this time, you can bring your arms alongside your body with your palms face down for stability, or if you like, you can bring your hands into a triangle and then place that below your sacrum. And bring your legs up into the air. And we're gonna pretend like you have a clock above you. And right now your feet with your ankles and heels above your hips is 12 o'clock. So let's just check out 4 of the parts that we want to be going on the clock. So you're at 12 and let's go over to 3. And let's go all the way down to 6. 6 is with your legs just hovering above the mat. And then over to 9. And then back up to 12. And let's go over to 9. And down to 6. And over to 3. And up to 12. And down. And up to 12. And down to 6. And then over to 9. And over to 3. And over to 9. And up to 12. And down to 6. And then back up to 12. Keep the left leg at 12 and take the right leg down to 6. And then switch, right leg to 12, left leg to 6. And then do that again. And switch one more time. Bring both of the legs to meet up at 12. Take the right leg over to 3 and the left leg over to 9. Keep your belly button pulling in towards your spine. Keep your legs flexed. Feet flexed, toes spread. Take the right leg to 6, the left leg to 12. Switch back, take the left leg to 9, the right leg to 6, or 3. And then take the right leg to 12 and the left leg to 6. And back, right leg 3, left leg 9. And bring your legs to meet up at 12. And go down to 6. Back up to 12, and down to 6, and back up to 12, and down to 6, and to 3 and 9, and 6 and 12, and 3 and 9, and 6 and 12, and meet up at 12, and go down to 6 and hold. And breathe. And hug your knees into your chest. And just feel your spine on the floor. And keep your knees into your chest. And bring your head up off the mat. And bring your hands back behind your head with your elbows out. Just lift your head to the point where your shoulder blades are just touching. You have the option to stay right here, just like this, belly button pulling in towards the spine. Or you can bring the right elbow and the left knee to touch in the center. The right leg goes out. And then switch. Left elbow to right knee, left leg straightens. And just move really slow. Remember, we're practicing yoga here, not aerobics. Slowing down the movement means no momentum, pure strength. So just move slow and strong, keeping the feet flexed, the elbows open. And if you can really slow down, move it to your breath. Inhale, come to center, both knees in, and then exhale, opposite elbow and knee meet. One more round to each side. And bring your knees into your chest. Your head rests on the ground. Again, take a couple breaths. So from here we're going to move into spinal rolls. So cross your ankles and grab a hold of your big toes. And just start to roll back and forth along your spine, coming up to sitting and then coming all the way back onto your back. Just moving back and forth, massaging the length of the spine. And this is where we have the option for some fancy clean yoga here, is that you can start to take your spinal rolls up to standing. And at first, start to feel it with the legs crossed. And if you don't get standing up, that's totally fine. We're using momentum here. Try not to use your arms. But maybe in the beginning you do use your arms. And then if that's super easy for you, start to uncross the legs. Come up, standing, feet together, no hands. We'll take just a couple more rounds here. And then make your way up to sitting. And come to a simple cross-legged posture. Inhale and bring both your arms up over your head, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, bring your left hand to the mat, lean over, reach to the side of the room. And breathe. And turn your head to look at the ceiling. Just really feel the stretch up the right side of your body. And take the necessary breath. Slow it down, make them deep. So one of the things with soreness in the body is the buildup of lactic acid. And one of the reasons you're usually more sore after aerobics than yoga class, even if it's like one of those crazy yoga classes, is because the breath. So lactic acid is like a byproduct of the muscles working. And the buildup, it's released with your breath. The whole point being nice deep breaths help to release lactic acid so that you have less soreness in your body. Inhale, come back up through center, reach up as high as you can, stretch out both sides of the body, reach, reach, reach. And exhale to the other side, bring your right hand to the mat beside you, lean over, reach to the right. Feel the stretch on the left side of your body. Continue to breathe and turn your head to look up at the ceiling. Remember your breath. Inhale and bring both of your arms up over your head. Reach up nice and high. Exhale your hands down to the center of your chest. From here, bring your hands to the mat in front of you and come up onto all fours. Plant your palms below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Untuck your toes. Put the weight into the tops of your feet. Spread your fingers wide. And push into the part of your hands where your fingers meet your palms. So push into the knuckles, offloading some of the weight from the heels of your hands. Inhale, bring your belly towards mat. Look up at the ceiling. Exhale, push into your hands. Arch your back. Point the top of your head at your mat. And continue to flow with your breath, inhaling through cow and exhaling through cat. Start to over-exaggerate the poses. Try to get your belly to touch the floor, really stretching out the front lines of your body. And then try to get your back, your spine to touch the ceiling. Stretching out the back of your body. Take a couple more breaths and movements just like this. And then meet back with a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees to hover just off the mat. Spread the fingers wide, push into the knuckles. So not all the weight is going into the heel of your hands. Breathe. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Look up at the top of your mat. Push the mat away from you. One more breath here. And slowly release your knees back down to the mat. Untuck the toes again. Put the weight into the tops of the feet. Remember, when you put the weight into the tops of your feet, just feel it. It engages the lower abs and it engages the lower back. Take your right leg up into the air behind you. Bring it parallel to the mat. Flex your foot. And just notice the propensity to want to lean over to the left and try to come back into center. I'm going to introduce you to something called flointing. So point your foot. And then keep the ball of the foot pointed, but bring the toes back towards your body. So it's like you're pushing on the gas pedal. Also known as Barbie feet. So you're pushing through the balls of your feet. Keep your belly button pulling in towards your spine. And you have the option to stay right here. You can bring your left arm out into the air in front of you. Remember to push into the knuckles on the hand, otherwise your wrists are going to get sore really quickly. And just reach the arm and the leg away from each other. Engage everything from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes. And you have the option to stay right here. You can start to flow with your breath. Inhale and reach away from each other, and exhale, bring the elbow and the knee to meet below your chest, below your belly. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, contract. Come back into center. One more round. And bring your hand and your knee back to the floor. Inhale, come through cow. Exhale through cat. Take one more round like this. And we'll make our way to the other side. Bring your spine into neutral and move over onto the right knee. Bring the left leg up into the air behind you. Put the weight into the top of the right foot and feel the engagement of the lower back and the lower abs. Again, point the foot and then flex the toes back towards the body. Notice if you're leaning over to the right and come back into center. Keep the belly button pulling in towards the spine. Option to stay here or bring the right leg out, the right arm out in front of you. If you're engaging the arm, bring the arm and the leg, just reach them away from each other. Engage the arm, engage the leg. Inhale, reach out even further, and exhale, bring the elbow and the knee to meet below your chest. Start to flow with your breath. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, bring it back in. Keep the belly button pulled in towards the spine. Keep pushing into the knuckles. One more round. Come back to center. Plant the palms and the knees. Inhale, come through cow. Exhale through cat. And from here, bring your knees out as wide as your mat and your big toes together. Push your hips over your heels. Walk your hands out in front of you. Extended child's pose. And then flip the palms up to give the wrists a rest. Release your head onto the mat. Breathe. Fill up your belly. Let it all out. Completely relax in this posture. One more breath here. And then bend the elbows, plant the palms below your shoulders, and come back up onto all fours. Walk your hands away from you, just a bit. And tuck your toes and lift your hips up for downward facing dog. Make your way into the posture where your hands are shoulder width apart and your feet are hip width apart. And float forward, coming into plank pose. And make sure to readjust. So fingers are spread wide, wrists are below the shoulders. And feet are back behind you with the heels pulled up over the balls of the feet. From here, keep your hands and your feet right where they are and then push back up into downward facing dog. Usually you want to walk the feet forward. I advise against it because it just makes the flow that we're going to do awkward. Inhale and bring the left leg up into the air behind you. And exhale, float forward into three-legged plank. Bring the left leg up to meet the left wrist or left elbow. Inhale, come back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, come back down, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, back down, bring the knee towards the nose. Inhale, back up. Take a breath. And on your exhale, bring your foot back down to the mat. Switch sides. Inhale, bring the right leg up into the air behind you. Exhale, come forward, high. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Right knee, left elbow. Inhale, up. Exhale, down, right knee to the chest. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bring your foot back down to the mat. And breathe. Come down onto your knees. Come down onto your elbows. Take a couple breaths. From here, you have the option to stay on your elbows with your elbows right below your shoulders, or you can come onto your hands. So we're going to go into plank. So just notice how your wrists are feeling. Step back, bring the legs back, heels up over the balls of the foot, pull the belly button in towards the spine, spread the fingers wide. Option to bring the knees down, option to bring the elbows down. Just breathe. Halfway there. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your elbows down to the mat. Feel free to interlock the fingers in front of you and bring your hips up into the air, dolphin pose. Continue to look at the top of the mat. Breathe. Push the chest back towards the thighs. Halfway there. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down onto your knees. Plant your palms and come up to downward facing dog. Breathe. Spread the fingers wide. Push the chest closer to the thighs. Halfway there. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees, bringing them down to the mat. Take the knees out as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes together. Push your hips over your heels. Walk your hands in front of you. Extended child's pose. Option to bring the palms up to the ceiling. Rest your head. Breathe. Completely relax here. Let go of everything. One more deep breath. Bend your elbows, plant your palms below your shoulders, come up onto all fours. Cross your ankles behind you, sit down on your mat. Bring your legs out in front of you. Plant the soles of your feet on the mat. Knees bent. And take a hold of behind the knees. When you take a hold of behind the knees, lift the chest, elbows out. This is the posture that you want for boat pose. So this is the integrity. Feel the belly button pulling in towards the spine. Feel the lower back engaged. Feel your chest lifting. If at any time any of this starts to sag, bring the feet back down to the mat because you're getting a lot right here. So option to stay right here. Or come onto the sits bones on that part where you find balance. From here I'm going to introduce the floint again. So that's when the feet are pointed and then you pull the toes back towards the nose. So Barbie feet or pressing down on a gas pedal. Again, option to stay right here. Notice when you're here and you lift up, the knees come apart. Pull the knees back towards one another. Keep the elbows out. Keep the chest lifted. This is a lot of work right here. If anything, rather than going further, I want you to keep this integrity. Option to stay here, bring the feet up to eye level. Keep the knees together. Notice the level of engagement of holding this posture. Elbows out, feet flointed, knees together, chest up. Breathe. From here, option to release the knees and bring the arms reaching for the feet. Keep the feet at eye level. Chest lifted, breathe. You can stay here or we can flow. Inhale, bring the arms up over the head, reach the legs out. Exhale, come back to boat. Flow with your breath, inhaling up. Exhaling back. Keep the knees in towards one another. One more round. Come back to center. Elbows out, toes pointed, knees in, chest lifted. Breathe and release. Hug the knees into your chest. Take a moment. And then when you're ready, make your way down onto your back. From here, arms alongside your body with your palms face down, or just bring your hands so they're underneath your bum. It just stabilizes the lower back. Inhale, bring the legs up over your head, or up into the air, heels above the hips. And exhale, bring both of the legs down to hover just above the mat. Keep them nice and straight, move slow. Inhale, back up. Move really, really slow. And exhale back down. And just notice how at the top you can go really, really slow, and then once you get right about here at 45 degrees, it's like a quick drop. Try to make it the opposite. The hardest part is right here from 180 degrees to 45 degrees. Make that take the longest. And if you want to move fast when you get up here, do that. Keep the belly button engaged. Keep the feet flexed, the legs engaged. Really taking your time. Another round. Exhale down. And bring your feet all the way down to the mat. Relax the arms out to the side. Take a break. Bend your knees. Walk your heels towards your bum. Bring your arms alongside your body, palms face down. Roll your shoulders down your spine. Put the weight into your feet, lift your hips up into the air. Option to roll the shoulders down the spine even more and interlock the fingers below your back, pushing your arms into the mat. Squeeze the bum cheeks and lift the hips. Squeeze the knees in towards one another. Keep the bum cheeks engaged. Really squeeze the bum cheeks as hard as you ever have before. Lift the toes up off the mat and breathe. Push the hips up as high as you can. Squeeze your bum. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep the knees coming in towards one another. And then slowly release. Uninterlock the fingers. Round your spine, bringing it back down to the mat. tailbone touches last. Take a breath with a neutral spine. From here, you have the option to make your way back into bridge pose, or we're going to go into Dhanurasana or wheel pose. If you're making your way back into bridge, put the weight into your feet, lift your hips up into the air. If you're going for wheel pose, bring your palms so that they're at your shoulders with your fingers pointing back towards your body. Push into your hands and your feet, come up onto the top of your head. Stay here, put the weight into the hands and feet, lift up even higher. And breathe. Squeeze the bum, lift up high. And then slowly start to release. Come back down onto your head. Round the spine. Bringing it back down to the mat. Tailbone touches last. Take a breath. Neutral spine. This time hug your knees into your chest. Keep your knees into your chest and bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height, palms face down. And let your knees fall over to the right, all the way down to the mat. You can turn your head to look over your left shoulder. Really feel the twist in your spine. Bring your head into center, engage the core, bring your knees into center, inhale. And exhale the knees to the other side. Bring them all the way down to the mat, turn to look over your right shoulder and feel the twist in the spine. Breathe, let go of tension. Bring your head back into center. Inhale, bring your knees back into center. Exhale, bring the soles of the feet up to the ceiling. Keep the knees bent. Take a hold of the outer edges of the feet. Come into happy baby pose. Breathe. And I offer you the opportunity to stay here in Happy Baby. If there's any postures that haven't been done that would feel good, anything that you feel like you're missing in your body, feel free to do that now. Just come back to center. Bring your feet onto your mat. And walk your feet away from you until your legs are flat. Push the back of your head into your mat and roll your shoulders down your spine. And allow your hands to fall away from your body with your palms face up. Take a really deep breath in all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And then let it out. And this time, let go of your breath and just allow your body to breathe itself. Take all of the thoughts that you have in your head right now and just allow them to ooze out of the crown of your head, onto your mat and away from you. Start to relax your body, beginning with the top of your head. Relax your forehead and feel your eyes grow wide. Feel your eyes sink into the back of your head. Relax your cheeks. Relax your jaw and let the tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Relax your throat and your neck. Let any tension ooze out of the tops of your shoulders onto your mat and away from you. Relax the muscles that run along your spine. Relax your arms, your wrists, your hands. Relax your chest and your abdomen and let your hips be wide. Relax your thighs and your knees. Relax your shins and your calves. Relax your ankles and your feet. Invite some awareness back into your breath. And wiggle your fingers and your toes. And turn your head from side to side. Pull your knees up into your chest, hug them in. Roll from side to side. Eventually rolling all the way over onto your right side. Use your bicep as a pillow. Take a breath here. Use the strength of your left hand to push yourself all the way up to sitting. Keep your eyes nice and heavy. Roll your shoulders down your spine. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. Take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with a sigh. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And just continue to breathe at your own pace. And bring your hands together at the center of your chest. Bow your head. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice this morning. From my core to yours. Namaste.